Hey everyone, I want to share my experience with how I got $500 in Amazon gift cards for free using the Chase Sapphire Preferred card and redeeming the points through the Chase Ultimate Rewards program. In this video, we'll walk through what the card offered, why I chose to get the card, why I chose to redeem it for gift cards, and also how I probably could have redeemed it for even more value than I got from the gift cards. First up is the card offer, and this card fluctuates, but at the time it was spend $4,000 within 3 months of opening the account and you'll get 50,000 Chase Rewards points in addition to getting the $95 annual fee waived. I think right now, based on what I saw online, is that they're doing 60,000 points, so you get 10,000 more points, but you don't get the $95 fee waived, but you guys can check that out if you guys are interested in this credit card. Let's move to why I chose this offer. So if you're like me, $4,000 is a lot to spend in 3 months. But the first reason I was looking at getting a new credit card in the first place was because I had a lot of bigger purchases all kind of coming together in a short time frame. Since all of these different expenses were going to be coming up around the same time, it was going to make it a lot easier for me to hit that $4,000. My biggest purchase was a new Sony A6400 camera, which you're viewing this video on right now. I wanted it just to make me help you make YouTube videos, and that came in at $1,100 with the kit lens. Now, when I was looking at cameras, I didn't realize how many just accessories and things and add-ons you can get. So I ended up getting a couple other things like lights, tripods, extra batteries, and that ended up being another $300 to $400 that I was going to spend. My next biggest purchases were some annual fees or programs that I'm a part of that I like to pay in full for the entire year or for like 6 months ahead of time, just how I like to do things. Those expenses were the property tax on my car, my Amazon Prime yearly membership, 6 months of car insurance, and paying for a full year of my Adobe Creative Cloud applications that I use to make and produce these various videos. All of these annual expenses added up to another $900, bringing our total to around $2,400 that I was inevitably going to spend anyway. My last biggest purchase was a bulk grocery run for a lot of pantry items that I use throughout the year. These are going to be things like olive oil, tahinis, flours, rices, a lot of oils and vinegars, and just a variety of things that I use to keep my pantry stocks. I'm a big cookie nerd, so these are all things that I use throughout the year anyway. That was around another $200-ish, bringing our total to $2,600 over 3 months that I was inevitably going to spend outside of my normal kind of living expenses. And like I said, it was kind of just the perfect storm of all these expenses coming up, and I was able to pay for them. So that's why I decided to look at this offer. And $1,400 over 3 months is kind of much more in my normal spending range. For me, I put all my expenses just outside of rent on my credit card because I can't do rent, and then I really treat it like a debit card. I only put money on my credit card if I have that money already in my bank account. So if I have $500 on my credit card, that means I already have $500 in my bank account. I'm not waiting on a paycheck to hit to be able to pay it off. And I would highly suggest anyone with a credit card to do it the same way because it really controls your spending. A lot of people are in credit card float debt and don't even realize it. I'm not going to go into all of the details here. I'll link a You Need a Budget article in the top right corner of this video where you guys can read in detail about it. But if you think there's a chance that you might be on the credit card float, definitely read this article. Sometimes credit card float is inevitable if you're going through a tough time and you can't get ahead on your payments. But again, the goal is really to anything that you're putting on your credit card, you really have already earned and you could pay it off right now. To summarize this segment, for me, it was the right mix of inevitable higher purchase expenses that I was going to be making within a 3-month segment anyway, so I decided to look for a card offer. I would not suggest getting a credit card just because it's a good offer if you don't have those expenses that you will be using to actually reach that offer. Make sure it's things that you actually want and need and not that you're just spending to reach whatever the offer is. Now that we have why I chose to get a new credit card, let's look at why I chose to redeem my 50,000 points for Amazon gift cards. If there are any credit card savants out there, I'm sure they recognized right away that I could have got a much better conversion for my points if I had used something else other than Amazon gift cards. But there's a couple reasons why I chose to use it. For me, 50,000 points for a $500 worth of gift cards is a 1 point to 1 cent conversion. Now, if you look on some websites like the Points Guy, you'll see that a Chase Ultimate Reward point can have a value of up to 2 cents. So it looks like I could have gotten a double return on what I actually did get from my 50,000 points. Now you may ask, why wouldn't I want to take advantage of the best conversion possible? So we can explain this with a little history lesson. If anyone remembers the acronym TINS to Fill from their middle school history class, or at least that's where I learned it, it stands for there ain't no such thing as a free lunch. Which basically means even though something may seem free on the purpose, there is likely a hidden cost or fee to someone else. In this case, yes, I could have got another cent of return on my rewards points, but why would they offer better conversion for certain types of rewards? In this case, to get that 2 cent reward for a 1 point conversion, I would have had to use these on travel rewards. This could be flights, hotels, airline miles, hotel points, etc. Now let's think about it. What happens when you travel? For most people, they spend a lot more money when they travel. So imagine that I had gotten my 50,000 points and I traded it in for a $1,000 round trip flight to Europe. Great, I got my 2 cent conversion. But then while I'm there, I still have to think about lodging, I gotta think about food, I gotta think about transportation in between my trips to Europe, and all of that other stuff. Now within these, you're going to be using their credit card, which is good for them, and that is why Chase wants you to redeem for travel rewards, because they know if you are going traveling, you're likely going to use their credit card more and more and more, which is good for them. Let's circle back to my point around only getting a credit card if you do have those expenses that you're planning to make anyway. This also applies to these travel rewards. So if you had already planned on going on a bigger trip or something, and then you can redeem your points for a $1,000 flight that you probably would have spent anyway, that is great and awesome, and you can totally do that, and I would highly, highly suggest you do that if that's what you're looking for. Now, for me, I'm in a little bit of a different situation. I already have a lot of airline miles and hotel points stocked up for the past 2.5 years with my job as a consultant, and I've been traveling all over, so I already have a lot of those points locked up, and I could use them on a trip if I want to already. Again, that's a situation that's probably only applicable to me, but that's why I decided to go ahead with Amazon gift cards, because I knew I would use the Amazon gift cards. I'm looking at getting another lens for my camera to take some different and cooler pictures. So for me, it worked out really well. Ultimately, you just have to find what you think is the best conversion. Think about what you'll actually use and what happens when you redeem it for certain types of rewards over other ones. There's no right or wrong answer to this. It's just about what is important and valuable to the person, to what they can redeem those points for. Alright everyone, so we covered the offer, why I chose to get the credit card, why I chose to redeem the points for what I redeemed them for, and also covered why I probably could have got a much better return on my rewards points if I'd used them for something else. Anyways, I hope you guys learned a little something and enjoyed this look into how I used the credit card and the credit card reward system. When used responsibly, credit cards can be a very, very useful tool in your personal finance portfolio to gain some extra little benefits at little cost to you. If you guys have enjoyed the video, drop me a subscribe if you want to see more of this content and stay up to date with all of my videos. Peace.